In this video, I'm going to show you how to bring windows into your Revit project. I'm going to put two windows in each of these units. One of them will be a large window that will look towards the north, and the other one will be a window in the bathroom that will be very high on the wall. Keep in mind, for bathroom windows, when they're in a condition like this, you can also use like a frosted glass for privacy. So um, it would be good to include a window in both the main room and the bathroom for your units. Okay, as with the doors, the process is similar. There are window families loaded into your Revit project by default. And you can also bring in other ones, but I'm going to just click on the window here and kind of show you what is available in the default project file. We have a series of casement windows. They have a center division. We have a double hung window, which basically is a type of window that slides up. The top pane of glass will slide down often. We also have a series of fixed windows. So I'm going to use the fixed window type, and I'll adjust the sizes as I insert them. So I'm going to focus on this unit, get that all set before making copies of the other ones. And what I want to do here is go to my north elevation, and I'll put that window that's on the back. So this is the door that I added previously. And now I'm going to go to window, and I'm going to insert the fixed window. Okay, and I'll just place it sort of a little bit randomly here. Okay, now this size is not what I'm looking for. And so I want to make some adjustments to that. But one thing I want to mention is that, you can use these dimensions that appear to help place your window. If I want them centered on this grid line, maybe without having to do the math, let's just see, okay, 4 feet to either side will center it. And another thing that you may want to consider is typically when you have doors and windows on an elevation, it's good to align the tops of them. So I'm going to move this down. So I brought it in here, window inset, exterior closure, head height. So let's see what happens if I make it the same as my door head. Remember, that was an 84-inch door. Okay. Now what I want to do is make it wider and possibly raise it above the ground a little bit. So when I scroll up here, I have options for changing the sill height. Let's see what happens if I made that, let's say 3 inches with 3 feet. Okay, it raised the whole thing, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to Control Z and bring that back. So now what I'm going to do is edit the type. And let's see here, 24 by 60. So I'm going to duplicate this type, and I may end up making more than one window, but for now this will work. I'm going to make it, let's see here, 66 inches. It'll be 30 inches above the ground, and it'll be a 60-inch wide window. And there's also some other the materials that you could change if you want to. I will leave them as they are for the moment. Say okay. And let me change this. The width is going to be 5 feet. Height 6 feet. 6 feet is 5 feet 6 inches. 5 feet 6 inches. And let's take a look. Apply. And okay. All right, so now it's a little bigger. The detailing looks a little bit residential. It looks like it adjusted my height, so I'm going to continue to make a couple more changes here. I'm going to change it to, see, the width was okay. The height, I'm gonna make it 4 feet, 6 inches. And apply and say, okay. Okay, and then I'm going to move it up to 2 feet, 6 inches. That's so height. So I have the alignment I want, and I think I'll leave the window at that size. Oh, but one other thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to adjust the name here. I'm going to rename it so it is consistent. 54 inches. Okay, right. And then eventually I'll copy them up on the second floor and I'll mirror them and copy them towards the left. All right, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that window I was describing at the bedroom. So I'll go to level 1 and I'm going to, if I go to the south view here, what's going to happen is I won't be able to see that because I've got some buildings in front. So what I need to do is take this section that I had created previously and move it down. So when I double click on this, it will take me to that section. And this is the building mass that I would like to hide. And then what do we have here? This is also, I want that category get turned off. Hide category. Okay. So there's the door that I added, and I'm going to put a window right here next to it. Again, this is the bathroom wall. So what I'm going to do is go back to the window, and it doesn't really matter what size I put in here because I'm going to end up moving it around and renaming it, creating a new type, same way I did the last one. I don't want those mullions, so you saw that little those crosshairs. Let's try. I'll make a copy of the one I had brought in previously. Edit type. And duplicate. Okay, now one thing I'm going to do here after let's try a 48-inch by 12-inch window. So it's going to be long and skinny. Say okay. Where it says Munson pattern here, that 2 by 2, I'm going to eliminate that. Exterior flat. Let's see what some options for the trim too. Some of those might be better for our particular window. Let's apply and okay and see what it looks like now. Yeah, so it got rid of those. And I'm going to check on the north side. For some reason, it didn't include them there. But I don't know if I'm in section 2 either. Okay, so now I have this window, 48 by 12. Let's change the dimensions. The width, make it feet. The height is going to be 1 foot, 0 inches. And let's apply and okay and take a look at it. Okay. And let's then move it up from 3 feet. Let's say that this is going to be 6 feet. Again, so we have that alignment. And I'm also going to center it between, no, I'm not going to center it. I'm going to move it over. Let's make this dimension So this is something that you can kind of work on on your own there. So for some reason, we have this little component that's hanging down below there. Let's try to figure out what's causing that. So one thing I'm going to do while I'm looking at these windows a little bit more closely is I'm going to edit the type here. And then I'm going to change this back one to be a picture frame and Lantern visibility. I'm going to turn that off. Interior trim, exterior flat. Let's do exterior picture frame. Okay, so it's a little bit simpler as a detail goes. Again, this is not terribly important that you change. As far as that extra line appearing, I clicked on the window and I adjusted the sill height to be 6 feet here. When I go to edit type, the default sill height is 6 feet also, but it appears that the sill has dropped, and it may be because this window is of a certain size and it's causing a problem. For now, I'm going to leave this as it is, and it shouldn't really show very much because it's at the ground line, but I'll investigate that a little bit further. So from here, you can copy the windows that you have in your projects, use the mirror tool, copy from one level to the next, the same way you did with the doors. And one thing I wanted to mention is that if you have a high window like I have and it doesn't show, it may be because it's above the cut plane. So be sure to check your elevations to make sure that there's nothing there instead of kind of trying to reload the same unit on top of itself. Right, and that's it for this part.